be sure to comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's up guys? JD Venom here, part of Venom Nation Wrestling, and this is the Getting Over Podcast, episode 11 for your Friday, July the 14th, 2017. Got some news here for you guys today, including Enzo and Big Cass reportedly having backstage heat in WWE. What the fuck is going on? I'm going to give you the details about that. Also, a major update on the future of Roman Reigns in WWE. Details about that as well. Also, Paige claims she was the one held for battery during the airport altercation. I have yet to actually comment about this, about the Paige and Alberto El Patron situation. You'll be hearing my thoughts about that and this as well in just a moment. Also, other news, including Kevin Kelly announcing that he's leaving Ring of Honor. That's not really big news, but we're going to be going over that as well. Also, so much more, including Raw and SmackDown live reports. Also, this week in wrestling, and boy and bae of the week today here on the Getting Over Podcast. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave me a thumbs up like that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page. Both links are down below. Tell your friends and family to come and join the JD Venom Nation here on YouTube. And let's start off this week, as we start off every single week. Let's talk about the Raw and SmackDown's ratings from this week. Raw this week averaged a basically 3.009 million viewers, which is up 5% and 6% from last week's 0.92 demo rating, and 2.8 million viewers from last week. So Raw went up this week 5%, and you know, I mean, obviously it's from the fallout of WWE Great Balls of Fire. Pay-per-view was, some people say it was a good pay-per-view, some people didn't like the pay-per-view. I'm right in the middle. It was more meh. One of the best pay-per-views of WWE for the Raw brand this year. I'm not saying not near as close as SmackDown, but one of the best for Raw this year as far as their single pay-per-views. So people are interested in, you know, in what's going to happen with the Universal Championship. It appears now we may be getting a fatal four-way of Braun Strowman, who's going to make a fucking comeback. He's going to come back this Monday on Raw, and he will put his hat, per se, he doesn't have a fucking hat, but throw his hat into the ring, and I really think that he's going to interrupt the Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe #1 contendership for the WWE Universal title, and it's going to end up being a fatal four-way. I think Kurt Angle is going to be like, there's going to be a fatal four-way. It's going to be you, Braun Strowman, and you, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's not going to be there. And Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. That's what's going to happen. So, I expect the reign to go up even more next week as well. Probably to 3.1 million viewers, 3.2 million viewers, which is going to be good for the WWE. Those four men are the only reason why Raw is even relevant right now, even decent. I don't give a shit about anything else on Monday Night Raw, with the exception of the Hardys. The Hardys are in the stages of being broken, so that is another thing that's to watch about Raw, but everything else fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Women's division sucks. Intercontinental division sucks. Finn Balor's not doing shit. Elias Sampson's not really doing shit either, because they just blew off their little mini feud this past Monday on Raw. So, I don't give a shit about anybody else. Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, who gives a shit? Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins again on Monday? Like, come on. Who gives a shit? Who really gives a shit about what's going on with everything else on Raw, with the exception of the Broken Hardys, the Revival, of course, my boys. We love the Revival. The Hardys and the Revival, that's going to be a feud, that's going to be great. And, you know, the Universal Championship with, you know, Brock Lesnar, you know, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman, which most likely will be a fatal four-way going into SummerSlam. So we got to wait until we get official word for that, but that is what is going to look like as of right now, in my personal opinion. So that was Raw this week. SmackDown, the July 11th edition of the Blue Brand, drew 2.4 million viewers. This was up more than 100,000 from the previous week. But even John Cena and AJ Styles in the main event couldn't get them back over 2.5 million viewers. So basically, they went up from last week. Now, they were at 2.6 million viewers on June 20th and June 27th. Remember, the June 27th episode was the Money in the Bank ladder rematch. June 20th was the fallout from Money in the Bank. And July 4th was fucking July 4th. You know, I mean, didn't really expect, you know, fucking on the July of the 4th to be, you know, over 2.5 million viewers. I mean, 2.3, that's pretty good for July the 4th. Now, it says, but even John Cena and AJ Styles in the main event couldn't get them back over 2.5 million viewers. Well, here's the problem with WWE. Why don't you advertise what you're going to have on the show? I understand with the storyline that came out of it, it became impromptu, kayfabe-wise. But you could have announced, it would have been very, very cool if they would have announced AJ Styles doing a, you know, a US Open challenge. You know what I mean? To actually, you know, advertise for that SmackDown. Would that get over 2.5 million viewers, 2.5 million viewers? Probably not. But it would be a better, actually it would, it drew 2.47 million viewers. So yeah, I think it would if they would have advertised, you know, AJ Styles doing a US Open challenge. Then have John Cena come out, then have Owens, then have Rusev come out to have that match in the main event. I think just by that simple advertisement alone could have been at 2.5 million viewers. But we're talking about 3,000 viewers, guys. This is not like fucking, you know, a shitload of viewers that was missing. We're talking about, you know, basically, no, I'm sorry, not 3,000, 30,000 viewers. So, you know, it is what it is with that. I mean, SmackDown, you know, they have been fairly decent. They've been more consistent of the two shows. Yeah, I mean, Raw, their main event has been a lot better than what it has been, but SmackDown overall has been more consistent. I think they put on a better product overall between Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown, you care more about what's going on the show. You know, you care about AJ Styles, you care about John Cena, you care about Kevin Owens, Rusev, Nakamura, Baron Corbin. There is some intriguement there with the women's division, even though I don't agree with another Fatal 5-Way. I really more care about Carmella and her being a Miss Money in the Bank. I care about that more than the actual title feuds right now for the women's division. I mean, you know, I care about the Usos and New Day. So there's more to care about on SmackDown that there is on Raw. Raw is the main event. It's the Revival and now the Broken Hardys. And that's about it, to be honest. I mean, that is about it. I'm trying to really think off the top of my head. Yeah, that Fatal 4-Way that's going to possibly happen. And the Broken Hardys coming. That's really all I personally care about on Monday Night Raw. But let me know what you think about that down in the comment section, guys. I would love to hear your opinions about that. Moving on to our top story of this week. This is funny. You know, this is funny, and this is actually reported by Dave Meltzer of Figure 4 Wrestling Online. Says here, and this is coming from No DQ, but this is actually being reported by like I said, by Dave Meltzer. While it probably wasn't a factor in the split with Big Cass, Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com is reporting that there is backstage heat on ENZO AMORE. Apparently, there was an incident on a WWE tour bus that led Roman Reigns kicking Enzo off the bus. According to Meltzer, there was a period where Enzo was given the Miz treatment by not being allowed to dress in the locker room with other talent. Enzo's reportedly unhappy about the split because he doesn't feel his prospects as a single star are good due to the way his character is portrayed on television as a guy that runs his mouth but can't back it up in the ring. Dave Meltzer is reporting that there's also a on Big Cass, but for a totally different reason than Enzo. According to Meltzer, Cass is a strong Donald Trump supporter that has bothered a lot of his peers in the locker room that doesn't share the same political views. With that said, management is still high on Cass, and the heat from other wrestlers is unlike to affect his push from the time being. Well, I'll tell you why Cass and why, you know, why actual higher-ups in the WWE, you know, because Donald Trump and Vince McMahon are fucking homies. They're G's. They're pals. You know what I mean? Obviously. The end-all be-all is Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon will push Cass just because he's a Donald Trump supporter. Believe it or not. How crazy that sounds, I don't know. I don't know how crazy that sounds to you. I actually really don't give a fuck about how crazy that sounds to you guys. But I think that Vince McMahon could push Big Cass just because he's a Donald Trump supporter. Just that fact alone. Also because he's big and, you know, that other stuff. And, you know, Vince McMahon likes big, sweaty men. But being a Donald Trump supporter versus not being a Donald Trump supporter, I think that may have some, not like a huge variance on him being pushed. But I think that has some variance of him being pushed. You know what I mean? I really think that does. But as far as Enzo, he's getting the mistreatment. And basically, because he's not being allowed to dress in a locker room because, I guess, you know, because they don't like him. I don't know what it is. If Roman Reigns can get off the bus, so it's either one thing. Either Roman's being a complete dick, and he just doesn't like, he hates Enzo, he's just being a complete dick because he knows that he's untouchable in WWE. Or maybe Enzo. Maybe Enzo is the guy that's what he is. Like, he just talks about a lot of shit, maybe can't back it up. You know what I mean? In a shoot fight. I don't know. But Enzo is reportedly unhappy about the split because he doesn't feel his prospects as a single star are good due to the way his character is portrayed on television. You absolutely are fucking correct, Enzo. You are absolutely fucking correct. But it's kind of your fault because you kind of create the character at the same time too. But you know how WWE likes to ruin shit. So I kind of understand where Enzo's coming from. I kind of understand why WWE does it. At the same time, I'm more leaning towards Enzo, but I see both sides to the coin here on this. But Enzo, he wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. It doesn't matter on how his fucking character is being fucking portrayed. He wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. He's a smaller guy. Do you really see Enzo Amore? When you first saw him at NXT, did you see this guy as a WWE champion? Did you see this guy as a, you know, Universal champion? Did you just really see this guy as a tag team champion? Yes. But as like an Intercontinental champion? Not really. US champion? Not really. Cruiserweight champion? I see him more as a Cruiserweight champion more than anything else. And that's still hard to believe. Enzo is a guy that really doesn't really need to be. He doesn't really need to have a title. He's a guy that can just talk. You know what I mean? And there's some guys in the history of wrestling that doesn't really need the title because the title's supposed to get the guy over. But Enzo's already over. He doesn't need a championship. Guys like Hulk Hogan, guys like, you know, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, The Rock, they were the guys to get themselves even more over than what they were. Not to say that they were not over prior, but it was to get them even more over than what they were originally before they won the big title. Okay? As far as guys like Jake the Snake Roberts, Roddy Piper, you know what I mean, Enzo Amore, you know what I mean, just guys who never, Rob Van Dam, even though he won it. You know, I'm really going with recent times because now everybody gets the fucking title. But, you know, guys like that, they don't really need a title because they already are over anyway. Enzo, I still see him selling not as much as merchandise as they were with Enzo and Cass, but I can still see him selling merchandise. Because he's still doing the catchphrases. You know what I mean? He's still going to be doing the SAWFT soft thing. He's still going to be doing the how you doing. He's still going to be doing the a cup of haters. Again, and that's all, you know, fucking advertiser friendly, fan friendly to the WWE. And they're going to put down shirts and cups and fucking, you know, boxers and, you know, and fucking, you know, posters and, you know, phone cases and anything that you can put a logo on, they will put it on. You know what I mean? I still see Enzo selling merchandise. As good merchandise? Not really. But I can still see him selling some good merch. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is with Enzo and Cash right now. They are split. I don't agree with the split right now. I think they split way too soon. The big Cass Donald Trump situation, that's going to wash under the rug because Vince McMahon and Triple H and the powers that be, they are huge Donald Trump supporters. Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. I really don't see that really being a problem with creative or, you know, with the agents in WWE. With some of the backstage talent, obviously, you know, maybe like Roman Reigns was probably a fucking huge Hillary Clinton supporter. We don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know their political affiliations, but we do know that Big Cass political affiliation is apparently Donald Trump. You know, I'm definitely not a Donald Trump fan, but it is what it is. I mean, I can't fucking control who he fucking, you know, who he likes as his one of his political preferences. You know what I mean? I really don't give a shit. I mean, it doesn't affect me. I mean, fucking, you know, one of my favorite, let's say Finn Balor was a big Donald Trump supporter. I mean, yeah, I mean, I will disagree with his political views, but, I mean, he used to be one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. I'm pretty sure the Revival, I mean, they're from North Carolina. I mean, that's a very, you know, split state. That could be very redneck, and they are portrayed as rednecks. I don't know if they really are that, but I can see them being Donald Trump supporters. Doesn't mean I'm not going to like them and, you know, appreciate their work in the ring. You know what I mean? This is fucking wrestling. I'm here to talk about wrestling. I'm not here to talk about these guys' political views. You know what I mean? If someone says something off the wall being political, yeah, I'll disagree with it. But who gives a shit? We are here to watch wrestling. We are here to watch these guys perform in the ring. We are here to critique on how they perform in the ring and how they're portrayed on TV, not their political affiliations or preferences. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Major update on the future of Roman Reigns. And this is coming from Wrestling News World. Not only is WWE strongly considering changing their mind about Roman Reigns headlining WrestleMania next year and defeating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship, but the company is very concerned about his declining merchandise sales, as well as the fact that he continues to be booed even at house shows, where for a while he was still getting positive reactions despite the negativity on television. Not only as his merchandise numbers noticeably lower than this time last year, but WWE fan surveys asking current and former WWE Network subscribers why they choose to subscribe or why they choose to cancel have not been liking Roman Reigns either way. In surveys, fans asked why they were canceled. The other option filled is with comments about Roman Reigns. In surveys asking fans why they subscribe, the other option is filled with comments about Roman Reigns. While WWE often ignores the TV crowd when it comes to determining their top babyfaces, they are less likely to ignore merchandise numbers and house show reactions, which is fucking true. So, here's my take on this. It only took you 3 years to get this shit right. It only took you 3 years to get the shit right. Now, Roman, he doesn't necessarily need to turn heel. This whole, he needs to turn heel, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'm not gonna like him more if he's a face or a heel. You know what I mean? It is what it is with them. You know what I mean? His whole thing is that, I'll give the devil its due. He's been better on the mic. because he's not as scripted. If they just let Roman Reigns be not as scripted from the very beginning and didn't shove him down our throats with, with the Royal Rumble victory and, with him, being positioned as the number one guy in the company. He can still be positioned as the number one guy, but don't shove him down our throats every single pay-per-view, every single week where he wins every single fucking time just about. I bet you his win-loss ratio is 3-1. They showed I forgot who it was, but the actual Twitter handle that showed the Bray Wyatt win-loss record, and they also show a Neville win-loss record. I want to see where Roman Reigns is. I bet you it's 3-1. I bet you it's 3-1 on his win-loss record since he came in to WWE. That's just my opinion. But with that being said, though, his merchandise sucks. His merchandise sucks. I was never really a fan of his merchandise. He got merchandise like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's merchandise sucks. You know what I mean? The merchandise guys that's selling is anything NXT, like Glory, Bobby Roode Glory shirt. Anything NXT is pretty damn good. Finn Balor, I would say Seth Rollins, he has some cool shirts. Bray Wyatt has some decent shirts. Nakamura, AJ Styles, John Cena. As much as we bash on John Cena, his shirts work for that particular demographic. John Cena has fucking, right now he has the fucking Looney Tunes version of the show. He has that fucking beer shirt. He has that fucking, one of my favorite John Cena shirts of all time, Rise Above Hate. That's fucking cool ass shirt. Even at the time where everybody was hating John Cena, that was a fucking cool shirt, the Rise Above Hate. You know what I mean? But John Cena is fucking great in the merchandise. Roman Reigns not so much. I can't name you a Roman Reigns shirt. I can't think of a Roman Reigns shirt that sticks out to me. The only one I can think of right now is the most recent one is the fucking, one with the fucking silhouette. That's how bad his merchandise is. That is how bad his merchandise is. Meanwhile, you got fucking Chris Jericho still selling merchandise. He's not even fucking there. Kevin Owens selling the Kevin Owens show shirt and KO shirts. Sami Zayn selling merchandise as well. You know what I mean? It's just that Roman Reigns, he's just so unlikable. He's so unlikable. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say that, but he is so unlikable. I'm going to go to www.shop.com right now. And I'm going to look at the top sellers. Let me bring that up right now. They got fidget spinners. I didn't know they had Superstars fidget spinners. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Alright, so we're going to go t-shirts. So t-shirts are here. Let me see here. Let me sort by. I'm sorting by best sellers. So I'm gonna read off the first 3 rows of here, and it's gonna be 12 shirts. 1, the Bray Wyatt Era Wyatt shirt with the octopus. The A Guerrero, and this is just in order. The A Guerrero I'm Your Poppy t-shirt. The AJ Styles, the new American Untouchable one t-shirt. The Hardy Boys, the Reborn by Fate t-shirt. The AJ Styles Untouchable red t-shirt. The Balor Club, the new Balor Club t-shirt Finn Balor came out with. The AJ Styles Untouchable Authentic t-shirt. There's the Roman Reigns t-shirt. The Roman Reigns It's My Yard Authentic t-shirt. Baron Corbin, this is row 3. Baron Corbin, the End of Days t-shirt. The Dean Ambrose, the No Good Dean Goes Unhinged t-shirt. I don't like that shirt, but it's the top seller apparently. The Breezango, the Fashion Patrol Authentic t-shirt. And the Finn Balor Roll Y Acid Wash t-shirt. Balor Club. So let's count. We got 12 shirts here. So out of the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. 5 out of the 12 t-shirts are AJ Styles or Finn Balor. And everybody else has their one shirt. Bray Wyatt has his shirt. A Guerrero has his shirt. The Hardy Boys have their shirt. As soon as the Hardy Boys, as soon as the Broken Hearts comes out, that's gonna be the top selling shirt. That's gonna be what I'm gonna buy. Roman Reigns has this shirt up there, the It's My Yard shirt. But other than that, I go down. It's John Cena. It's the Usos day one-ish. That shirt's fucking nice. I like that shirt. The Monster Among Us, the Braun Strowman shirt, the Kingslayer shirt. All these shirts have their different themes and they look good. The Breezango shirt looks good. Even the Dean Ambrose looks unique. But this Roman Reigns t-shirt is just Roman Reigns doing the Superman punch. It's a solo of him doing the Superman punch, and it says "It's My Yard" on the back of it. That is not a very unique shirt. At least this version is. Man, I like this. I like this NXT shirt. We are NXT. The black and the white one. I might cop me one of these. This must be new. But anyway, back to the point at hand, guys, is that these shirts and, you know, and merchandise, that really means anything. And that's just shirts. That is just the shirts, guys. There's other things as well, you know, with, you know, that we can look at. You know, Roman Reigns has shirts. He has hoodies. He has towels. He has cups. He has fidget spinners. He has glasses, sunglasses. What the fuck, WWE? He has tank tops. He has lunch boxes. Not to mention, the merchandise is also included with action figures. That's, you know, a lot of people forget about merchandise. Everybody thinks about shirts and fucking, you know, hoodies and things of that nature. But the action figures, guys, that is another thing. So, if WWE is looking at his merch sales, if no one wants to buy fucking, you know, Roman Reigns gold replica glove set for 2016 or his fucking vest, then no one's gonna buy this shit. Pop figures. Who wants a fucking Roman Reigns vinyl pop figure? Are you fucking serious? I don't. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments about Roman Reigns and his future and possibly WWE not pushing him for WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Moving on to Paige. Paige claims she was the one held for battery during the All-Pro altercation. Police says she's not a suspect. Okay. Before we get into that, this whole Alberto El Patron and Paige situation is quite fucking disgusting. Funny thing is, I live in San Antonio. Alberto Del Rio lives here. He has a restaurant here. Paige is here all the time. I actually saw Paige at one of, we have an outside mall, where it's kind of like an outlet shop. So it's a mall, but it's outdoors pretty much. But I seen her once. I didn't approach her because there was other people around her, so I didn't want to like, oh Paige, I'm a fan. Oh, I hear you're working for NXT. No, I didn't want to be a fucking mark like that. But I did see her though. She's quite short. She's quite short in person. But with that being said though, she's here. They have the restaurant here. The point I'm trying to get to is that they post pictures online, like on, they have, I forgot the name of the restaurant, but they're always, like, posting pictures to, like, the news media outlets here, like the CBS affiliate, the NBC affiliate, and ABC affiliate here, for, like, the local news and stuff. They post pictures there about the restaurant. They try to get people to come out to the restaurant. They're, you know, I think one of the local news stations went out there when the grand opening of the restaurant happened last year, and then she was there. So, I've seen them here. The fact that this is happening, and we don't know on how far this has been happening, and things of that nature, this has been pretty fucking sad. You know, this is leading down to a Chris Benoit type of situation. Like a Chris Benoit, Nancy Benoit situation. But it's being played out through social media. 2007... that's where social media was starting to take off. Twitter was still being, you know, in relevancy. You know what I mean? But Twitter started to finally take off in 2008, 2009. So when Chris Benoit passed away in 2007, it wasn't really like, it was on social media, but it wasn't like on Twitter where everybody was talking about that was like the #1 trend worldwide. Nothing like that. But this here, God forbid, I do not want nothing to happen to either one of these two. You know, even though from what we've been seeing and hearing about from Alberto El Patron, he is a piece of shit, doing coke, doing, you know, drinking, things of that nature. He is a piece of shit for beating up on Paige. Now we know why Paige Now we know why WWE didn't want Paige around Alberto Del Rio. I reported on this last year. On Venom Nation Wrestling, I reported on this last year that WWE did not want Paige around Alberto Del Rio. Now we know why. Now we know why. I thought at that time I was crazy. I was like, oh, let them be, let them be. Now we know why. Now we know why. You know what I mean? And there is a madness to what WWE is doing. You know, from now on, if WWE runs into a situation again where they want, two particular people split away for a reason, and if there's a story up about it, I'm gonna lean more towards WWE in that situation, just because of the fact they know something that we don't know, and it could come out before we even know it. You know what I mean? They're gonna know about it, of course, because it's WWE before it comes out in social media. Now this has come out to social media. Paige, was held for questioning at the airport here, and this is by Ryan Satin from Pro Wrestling Sheet, and it says WWE star Paige claims she was the person held for suspicion of battery at the airport on Sunday during her altercation with Alberto El Patron, but police say she's not a suspect. Paige posted a lengthy statement on her Twitter and wrote, "It was me who is being held for battery charges because I threw a drink on him. No, he never touched me, and no, I never hit him with a glass 3 times like the internet in all their glory is making out." However, a rep for the Orlando PD tells us Jose Rodriguez, aka El Patron, is the only listed suspect. The wrestler also noted that there were no fouls have been charged and her fiance wasn't arrested, which is accurate. Police tells us the matter is under investigation. Once that changes, we'll let you know. And Paige posted a lengthy thing on Twitter. It says, "Just clearing up the airport situation so there is no more elaborate versions of the story. Thanks for respecting our privacy." And there's like a long, thing here about what happened. And also as well, if I can get back, what the fuck? Okay, there it goes. Also, she put, "And if you listen to that stupid audio, you will hear him saying he's pressing charges on me. We all say stuff when we are mad." That is all I will say about the airport situation. Again, thanks for the privacy at this time, coming from Paige and her Twitter. This is my thing. Okay, look. I don't want to sound too harsh, but Paige, you're being abused. You're being abused. You're being a bitch. And not a bitch saying that you are, that, yeah, you're a bitch. I hate you. But you're acting like a bitch because you are not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth. Your brother, your family members have sent pictures. And Dave Meltzer has reported that he's seen pictures of you being bruised. A black eye. Being bruised up. You're not wrestling. You can't wrestle contractually. I can't even say the fucking word. But legally, since you're contracted to WWE, you can't wrestle with another company. You have not been wrestling in WWE. We have not heard you coming back to the Performance Center. We have not seen you on TV for over a year. Now, you may be in the ring sparring with people, but if it's wrestling, it's kayfabe, it's work punches, you're not really hitting each other. So you may be in the ring, still doing some mock matches, but you're not performing in front of people. You may be, it may be you and fucking, Alberto doing that in the ring. Doing some sparring match so you can stay in shape, so you can, so you can, keep your crap down, so you keep your crap crisp. But if you're bruised up, that means someone has really been hitting you. And I have not heard anybody or heard anybody say or heard, actually, your fiance, El Patron, say, hey, someone's been hitting my wife, or my future wife, or hey, you know, someone ripped a page. I have not heard that from him. There's been silence, but there's bruising. That only leads me to say, and it only leads me to that your fiance has been beating on you, according to your brother, according to Dave Meltzer, according to your father, and other family members, saying that this has been happening to you. Speak up about it. Get out of the situation. Have somebody help you get out of the situation. The way that the path that Paige is going, unfortunately, this may be another Chris Benoit situation. I don't want that to happen by any means, but that could happen. Very sad situation with Paige. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. On to our next story. Ronda Rousey, backstage at Mae Young Classic. Triple H has announced that Ronda Rousey is present at the Mae Young Classic. The game posted on Twitter revealing that the UFC star and actress is backstage at the taping. So, picture there on Triple H's Twitter is Rousey, is Triple H. Oh man, oh man, you know Triple H is working. He is trying to work on Rousey to come into the WWE for something. If it's not for a match, at least for a fucking appearance. You know he's working on that. And Rousey has been vocal that she would probably want to do this in some time in her future. Her UFC career is not on the up right now. She lost 2 fights in a row. I would love to see her. She can't fucking lose. Because even though Rousey, you know, has been losing in the UFC, she lost her fights 2 fights straight. Let's not forget, 2 years ago, this was the baddest bitch in the world. Having her in the WWE, you know how many fans will be drawn to watch her who still love her? You know how many people would just turn on Monday Night Raw just to see Rousey in the middle of that ring, face to face? Can you imagine Rousey face to face with Asuka, face to face with a Charlotte, face to face with a Becky Lynch or a Sasha? Can you imagine that? Face to face with Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax? Can you imagine that? I certainly can. I certainly can. Let me know what you think about that, guys. Rousey, I won't say she's possibly coming to the WWE, but you know Triple H is in her ear, and you know Rousey is probably listening. Especially if she's not the UFC Women's Champion right now, the Bantamweight Champion. Now, she is contracted under UFC. I totally get it. Dana White may not approve of that, but you know Triple H is still trying to work her in some fashion. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments. An update on Lucha Underground's uncertain future. WWE is possibly eyeing some talents. Lucha Underground days may be numbered, as the current owners are unwilling to fund the next season unless they are able to raise capital with a new round of funding by bringing in additional investors. Lucha Underground has been aggressively courting potential investors in hopes of taping season 4 in the middle of November, which would beginning and airing in late January 2018. The Lucha Underground roster has been extremely frustrated, by lack of communication, but nobody in the company wants to admit the company may shut down if they can't find funding, and there's no way to know for sure, one way or the other, if they are able to secure a new investor in time to make a late 2017 schedule a reality. WWE has been paying close attention to the situation, as there are several wrestlers under contract to Lucha Underground that WWE will be interested in if they hit free agent market. Many are locked under lengthy, what says here, draconian contracts that commit to several more season cycles, which at this rate could be as long as another 5 years. So basically, to me, is that with Lucha Underground, and I like Lucha Underground, I do. I don't review it because I don't have time to watch it live. By the time I review it, it's pretty much irrelevant. You know what I mean? So to that time, I don't want to review. This past yesterday's Lucha Underground. On a Thursday or a Friday or Saturday. I don't want to do that because I don't have time for that because I have a real job still. But with that being said, though, I really truly think that for the wrestling industry, we need Lucha Underground around as an alternative. We need Lucha Underground around as an alternative. As far as some of the talents, really, there are a few talents I would like to see. I think Sexy Star would be good for the women. I think Matanza will be another main event guy. Matanza's another guy that I would like to see face off against like a Samoa Joe or Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman. The Wrath of God Slam. Can you imagine how Braun Strowman? I would love to see Matanza in WWE. I would love to see that. Johnny Mundo, John Morrison. You got fucking PJ Black in there. So you do got some guys in there that WWE can look at, bring back in or bring again for the first time. But I'd rather just have Lucha Underground around. Me personally, I mean, this is not really a huge news story, but let me know what you think about that in the comment section about that. Couple more stories here, guys, and actually we got one more story here, actually, and we're about to get into a boy and band of the weekend, this week in wrestling, and we're going to be wrapping it up here. Kevin Kelly announces that he's leaving Ring of Honor after 7 years with Ring of Honor. Kevin Kelly has announced he is stepping away from the company to dedicate more of his time to his role with New Japan Wrestling. Kelly tweeted on Tuesday night to focus on New Japan, or at NJPW, actually, 1972, as well as new opportunities I will no longer announce for Ring of Honor. Thanks to all whom made the last 7 years so fun. Originally hired back in 2010, Kelly was ROH's play-by-play commentator for the better part of the last decade. He left as a full-time employee back in February, but remained with the promotion in a part-time role alongside Ian Riccaboni as various color commentators. Kelly has been a part of New Japan's English commentary team since 2015. So, I mean, it's not really big news with Kevin Kelly. I mean, I just wanted to report this here because there are some people who do like Ring of Honor and, who watches his channel on a daily basis. So, let me know what you think about Kevin Kelly leaving Ring of Honor. I mean, I remember him from the WWE. His commentary is, he's not bad by all enemies. He's not like a Michael Cole or anything, but I mean, he's not a Mauro Ranallo either. He's decent. He's decent at what he does. I mean, if he's gonna be New Japan's, lead commentator for the English side, I'm fine with that. I mean, it is what it is. And that just goes to show you that Ring of Honor is still letting go talent. They're still letting go talent. So I don't know if Ring of Honor is in financial issues because you got Kevin Kelly, you got potentially Marty Scurll. You just had Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish leave. You know what I mean? You got Adam Cole, who's destined to come into WWE any day now. So I really think that Ring of Honor, either they're trying to save money or they're just in financial woes, possibly right now. ACH left as well. He's now in Global Force Wrestling. So it is what it is. But let me know what you think about that down in the comment section about Kevin Kelly announcing that he's leaving Ring of Honor. Alright, guys, well, that is it for the news. Let's get into Boy and Bay of the Week and This Week in Wrestling, and that is our podcast this week, guys. Boy of the Week is a man who won his match at Great Balls of Fire. He's a man that nearly died, kayfabe, on TV. He's a man who walked away from a crushed ambulance thanks to that fucking guy, Roman Reigns. It is Braun Strowman. He's been Boy of the Week, I don't know how many times, but just walking away, knowing that he's going to be back next week, knowing he's going to be a Fatal 4-Way, and knowing that Braun Strowman is going to get a huge babyface reaction sooner or later. This guy is going to be a big face sooner or later in the WWE. It's only a matter of time. I'd rather keep him as a heel personally, But you know WWE may want to turn him into face just by his fan reaction by itself. But Braun Strowman is Boy of the Week. Bay of the Week is really a woman that didn't even wrestle this week. It's a woman that showed her face and who wrestled at the Mae Young Classic yesterday in the first round. And if you want to look up spoilers, you can look up spoilers online somewhere else. I'm not going to give spoilers here. It is Kairi Sane. She just looks fucking good. I have nothing else. She's the Bay of the Week because she looks fucking good and she can wrestle. That lets you know how bad Raw and SmackDown was for fucking women this week. And NXT, we didn't really have women on there to really do anyway. There was no women on NXT this past week. Actually, there was. But it didn't really matter. But yeah, Kairi Sane is Bay of the Week. This week in wrestling, guys. This week in wrestling, 20 years ago this week, WCW presented Bash at the Beach from the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. 7,850 people were in attendance, with 325,000 homes purchasing the pay-per-view. That's up from 75,000 for the 1996 edition, where Hulk Hogan turned heel and formed the NWO. The event was highlighted by Kevin Sullivan's final WCW match and Dennis Rodman in-ring debut. That Kevin Sullivan-Chris Benoit match, that was one of my favorite feuds in WCW. They used to use wooden chairs against each other. You remember wooden chairs? Let me know. If you know about wooden chairs instead of steel chairs in WCW, let me know about that down in the comments. Come on. But, breaking down the card here, Morris and Raph defeated Glacier and Ernest Miller. Chris Jericho defeated the Ultimate Dragon to retain the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. The Steiner Brothers defeated the Great Muta and Masa I can never get his name right. Masahiro Chono. Huto Guerrero, Hector Garza, Liz Mark Jr. defeated Psychosis, Villano IV, and La Parca. Chris Benoit defeated Kevin Sullivan. As a result, the loss was Sullivan forced to leave WCW. It was a retirement match between the two. So that was a very good match. One of my favorite matches in WCW. One of the most underrated matches, I think, in WCW too. That was a very fun match. Jeff Jarrett defeated Steve McMichael to retain the WCW United States Championship. Scott Hall and Macho Man Randy Savage defeated Kurt Hennig and Diamond Dallas Page. Roddy Piper defeated Ric Flair. And Lex Luger and the Giant defeated Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman in the main event at Bash at the Beach 97. Go check out the WWE Network. It was a fun show for nostalgia, 1997 of WCW. Alright guys, that's it for me. That's it for the podcast, the Game Over Podcast, episode 11 is completed, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the podcast here. We went about almost an hour here today. Actually 50 minutes, actually. Almost 50 minutes here today for the Game Over Podcast. But guys, that's it. If you did like this here, be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. Leave a comment down below on what we talked about here today on the Game Over Podcast. If there's anything else that you want me to bring up or want me to go over this weekend or maybe next week, let me know down in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page. Both of those links are down below. And as it, guys, I hope you guys have a great night. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.